make this rather snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking to do before 10 o'clock.
All right, good evening. Welcome into Greenie Sports Cards Live. It is Tuesday, 7 p.m. here Eastern Time. That means we are coming to you live again, as we do every Tuesday night, for Greenie Sports Cards Live from the worldwide headquarters in Cleveland, Ohio, technically Twinsburg, where Greenie Sports Cards is located. But this weekend, we're going to be branching well out and beyond the state lines and into West Virginia. And we're really excited to talk about that here this evening for the Mountain State Collectors Convention that's coming up. Really exciting news about that event, which will be the instantly the biggest collectibles event ever to hit West Virginia. So we'll talk about that taking place in Charleston, and we will welcome in from the Charleston Dirty Birds, Jill Gearin, who will tell us about the trade night and the Dirty Birds and the fireworks and all kinds of fun stuff that's taking place down there in Charleston, particularly on Saturday during the trade night. And then we're going to talk to Jeremie Stout from Select Cards and Collectables, who is a really big shop and proprietor down there in West Virginia, South Charleston, and has been a big help to getting us launched there in the area. And we'll look forward to talking to Jeremy on that. And then coming up, we've got our resident expert, Joe Wysmierski of Phoenix Card Shop, who will drop by to share hobby news as he does week over week. And he'll be joined by a really special guest this evening, Mike Gioseffi, Gio, as he's known, of course, from Sports Cards Nonsense and all kinds of other cool stuff. So we look forward to talking to Gio and welcoming him into the program for the first time, along with Joe. So really packed show this evening. A lot to get to. The Mountain State Collectors Convention in particular, coming up this weekend, May 16th through 18th, down there at the Charleston Convention Center in Charleston, West Virginia. So very cool stuff on that front. If you are joining us for the first time, as many of you continue to do week over week, Greenie and I have been doing this for well over a year and a half now. We were the first multi-stream broadcast for the hobby industry, where we launched this program. And you can find us on multiple points in between Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And Twitter is now X from when we started, and YouTube and LinkedIn and Twitch and all kinds of points in between. So make sure you follow the socials, stay up to date on our shows, on our guests. Week over week, we have athletes and influencers and coaches and all kinds of interesting personalities and content. And we'll continue to bring that to you week over week. And then it's capped off by the live auction portion, which Alex Schott takes over at 9 p.m. Eastern. You can find him on eBay Live, as well as our social channels. But if you really want to participate in the auction, you got to jump over there to eBay Live, get in the action with Alex, comment on the shows, tell him what you want to see. All the auctions start at $2 there at 9 o'clock. And then he's got combined shipping. So the more you win, the more you save, and really cool stuff over there. But as I said, a lot to get to. We have a monster show this evening. And with that, we will welcome in the man himself, Steve Greenberg, a.k.a. Greenie, the namesake of Greenie Sports Cards.
There we are. Hey, Jeremy, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, sorry, Haley, doing double duty there.
Yeah.
Welcome in. Big week, Greenie.
It is. Charleston. It's been a year in the making, and here it is. 3 weeks after the Great Lakes show, we're back at it at the Mountain State Collectors Convention. But it's pretty exciting. I can't wait to be there. We'll be there Thursday, and the show will go Friday through Sunday, and we expect big things to happen down there.
Yeah, no doubt. Lots of participation, lots of sponsors. As we always say, it takes a village to pull these things off, and we've got terrific partners, starting at the very top with the Charleston Convention and Visitors Bureau that is in partnership on this event. They created a pathway to the convention center and really took a leap of faith, as we all did, to say that the market can handle this, and we want to go after it, and let's try it. And not only did we try it, but Greenie, there's over 140 tables, exhibits that are going to be at this show. It's filled the entire South Hall of the convention center, and that's in year one. And so, it's kind of like throwing that party, and we've sent out the invitations, and you hope people show up now.
Yeah, and not only did they think that the market can handle it, they really wanted it. And it's funny. We talk to guys like Brad Beeman a lot, and we talk to other promoters a lot. And the one thing that people don't realize, it's not just hey, let's call and have a card show at any location. I mean, we put together a presentation, and we pitched them on why they should allow us to come down there and do this. And the conversation went really well, and together we decided, this is something that we should do down there. And it's, for lack of a better term, it's not easy to just say, hey, let's just have a card show. There's a lot of things that go into it. And we've been over this, and we've had plenty of conversations about it when we've had other, Brad on, we had the Strongsville Vintage guys, and plenty of other promoters. So, people know that as well. But, the CVB in Charleston loved what we had to say, and they were on board from day one and said, we need to do this.
Yeah, and not that producing these events are a stretch. We, the infrastructure and all those things, we've kind of honed that in. But stepping across state lines and going into other markets when you don't have the network and the connections. You've been in Northeast Ohio doing this for 20 years. I'm an Ohioan. We've done stuff across the country, but a big part of that leap of faith is finding the right partners and people within the market that know the market and can help bring this thing to life. And what's really exciting is this is year one. This is a long-term plan, as we've said from the start. We want to get the thing launched and then come back year over year. And one of those terrific partners that was on board early was the Charleston Dirty Birds, and Jill Gearin in particular, who is making history as one of the very first, if not the first, primary play-by-play announcer for professional baseball down there in Charleston. So she is the manager of media relations and community relations for the Charleston Dirty Birds, which, as we came to find out, has been called a number of different names through the years. But Jill has been a terrific partner, and there's going to be a trade night on Saturday, the 17th there, starting around 6 p.m. You need a ticket to the ballpark to get in, but then the trade night will be accessible, and we'll get into that with Jill. So let's go ahead and welcome from the Charleston Dirty Birds, Jill Gearin.
And Greenie.
And Greenie.
And Greenie.
Hey
There
guys,
we
how
go.
are you?
Good, Jill. How are you? We understand that there's a game being played right now.
Yep, it's the bottom of the second inning, scoreless so far against the Staten Island Ferry Hawks. So this is game one of a 3-game series. When you guys are here for trade night, we will be facing the Southern Maryland Blue Preps.
I did some research, and some of these names are just so interesting. The Dirty Birds we referenced earlier. People were telling me about the Alley Cats, and I thought, well, maybe, but it turns out they were the Alley Cats. So
yeah,
very
so
cool.
We've had professional baseball in Charleston for over 100 years, and Alley Cats was one of them. The Charleston Charlies is another. Charleston Senators, and most recently the West Virginia Beavers.
So back a few months ago, it was probably more than that, it's probably over 6 months ago now, when we called you and said, hey, we're doing a card show at the Civic Center, and basically just out of the blue called you and said, hey, we pitched you and said, hey, we'd like to bring an after hours show to the stadium, and you love the idea, so we're appreciative of that. We're knocking on wood that the weather is going to hold up, and in right field, I think we're going to set some tables up, and we're going to let kids and adults alike come in and just trade cards and watch a ball game. I think. Did we lose her? A little frozen. But while we're getting her back, this is the stadium. It's a mile away from the Civic Center, so it made terrific sense when we decided to call Jill and ask her about the trade night. And Jeremy, you were on the phone call. We did a Zoom call with her. We explained everything we're doing, and she said this would be great for the community and for people that come to the games. It'll also bring other people that have never been to a game before. The out-of-towners that are coming to the card show are now going to come to the ball game, and they've never experienced a Charleston game before. So Jill is back, we think. Maybe. She was back.
Okay, I just connected from my Wi-Fi. Hopefully
that's fine.
My data just
we can
works.
hear you.
That's
hear
great.
Me
okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
perfect.
we were
for us, we always love to have having different promotions here, and obviously having a trade night specifically centered around sports just makes too much sense not to be a part of. But when we first talked, I was thinking, okay, maybe kind of an exclusive event where we can have an area of the ballpark just for you guys. And I thought, why would we do that? And we want to have as many people as possible trading cards and whatnot, interacting and getting to know each other. So the idea is we're going to be out in right field behind the wall. There's some bleachers there. We'll have tables. But my idea is kind of go back to your schoolyard days where you're at the bleachers during recess and you're trading cards with your friends and your peers. So that's kind of what I'm most excited about, is kind of going back to the olden days of when people first started trading as kids.
That's right. We all did that as kids at the playgrounds and watching games, Little League, and it's going to be terrific. And I don't know if you heard what we were saying. So we're a mile away from the Civic Center, the ballpark, and it's going to be great because a lot of the people that are coming in town for the show, they always look for something to do afterwards. So coming to a ball game just makes sense.
It does. So first pitch will be at 6:35. The gates open at 5:30. And Saturday is always a fun day. We always have post-game fireworks. This will be our first one of the year. And it's also really cool opportunity for people too, because it's organ donation night and we are doing a live jersey auction. So again, perfect way for people who like sports collectibles to bid on a jersey, and all proceeds go to Donate Life, which is all about organ recovery and education surrounding that.
That's really cool.
And even if you aren't here for the game, we will be doing that jersey auction online, and we will ship you the jersey if you do win.
Minor leagues are known for their strange promotions. I got a little nervous when you said it's organ donation night. Depending on how the players do, maybe they, but that's another story.
Maybe not that crazy.
But. Yeah. But, the minor leagues, Jill, are known for getting a little bit outside the box and thinking in terms of promotions and how to drive people to the ballpark. Tell us a little bit about some of the fun promotions you've been a part of with the Charleston Dirty Birds.
I think one of my favorite ones is dairy night, where you don't really think of the dairy, industry in Charleston, West Virginia a whole lot. But we will have dairy night in June, and we have a baby cow that people come and pet. Usually we also have a cow milking contest between the two the two teams as well. So that one's a little bit different, where you usually don't see a cow being milked at a baseball game, but we do that too. And then our weekly promotions are always fun, the same as what other people do. Thirsty Thursday, Wolf Wednesday. But I think the dairy night has always stood out to me because every single team I've worked for has had a dairy night.
Am I back? I'm back now too. Good. So how did you get into broadcasting? Because that's one of the hats that you wear now. Is you broadcast these games?
Yeah, I was 13 and I came home and told, no, I was 12. I was 12 and I came home and told my mom the boys are making fun of me because I like sports, and she said, "Well, Jill, you don't shut up and you like sports. Why don't you go into sports broadcasting?" And 12-year-old Jill took it and ran with it. At my middle school graduation, I gave a speech and I said I was going to be the broadcaster for the Boston Red Sox. And then my senior year of college, I was the broadcast intern for the Boston Red Sox, and then ended up um, getting my first like, big girl job right out of college with the Visalia Rawhide, who is the single A affiliate of the Diamondbacks.
Do you have any other predictions? Because that one came to fruition.
I don't have one. I got married last year, so that kind of tends to derail the sports industry career. So we're just taking it day by day.
Sure. But you, by our accounts, you were able to do something that a lot of people in this world aspire to do, but most of us will never have the opportunity to do, which is call play-by-play innings in a major league professional baseball game. And I believe that was the Diamondbacks. Was that in Arizona?
Yep, it was the Diamondbacks. It's actually in Los Angeles because I'm from LA, and so yeah, they said we'd love to give you some innings. It made sense. I was in Los Angeles. It was great. And my first pitch as a big leaguer was a home run. Not many broadcasters get to say that too, but it was, oh gosh, who was it? Christian Walker, I think it was, who hit the home run. Yeah.
So Joe, Phoenix Sports Guys, who will be on later, is in Phoenix, the home of the Diamondbacks. So they're big fans down there of the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, they were a really fun organization to work with, and I probably know a good 50% of the big league roster just because I was with the Visalia Rawhide since 2019. So like Jordan Lawler just got recalled. I called his first professional games. Alec Thomas, Jake McCarthy, Geraldo Perdomo. I knew him before he knew the English language. So I get to see these guys and their babies. It's been a lot of fun.
That's terrific. And now what brought you to Charleston?
So I kind of felt myself plateauing in Visalia. I just didn't feel any growth happening. I was there for 5 years. So I moved to Arizona to do the Arizona Fall League and decided to leave Visalia without having another full-time job. Andy Shea, who is the owner and CEO of the Charleston Dirty Birds, I met him in 2020 in Lexington when he did a female broadcasters summit with the Lexington Legends. And he called me and said, "I heard you need a job. What do you think of West Virginia?" And I said, "Haven't really thought about West Virginia a whole lot in my life. But sure, let's do it." So this is my second year. Um, it's been fun. I love the media relations side of it. The community side of it was new for me of being in charge. And now I'm having a bigger hand in marketing too. So it's a lot of hats, but a lot of fun.
So how different is it being that you're an independent league? There is no major league affiliate, right? So there is no, like, lack of a better term, chain of command. Like, there is no big league team telling you what you can and can't do.
Which is great. So it was a weird transition for me. I think a lot of players have that same transition where you go from affiliated ball to unaffiliated. And I mean, our owner came and asked me, "Hey, what do you think of this guy who's been struggling?" And I'm like, my opinion shouldn't really matter. But then I realized, oh, our owner and CEO gets to have a say, just like our general manager does of the roster. They want my genuine opinion. So that was very, very different for me. Yeah. So it's very different, but yeah, we don't have a chain of command. These guys get paid by the same employer as I do. So we're coworkers where I'm able to go and ask for their help with these community engagement events. So it does make my life a little bit easier because of that.
Jill, for those of us who have not been to a game at your stadium at GoMart Ballpark, talk us through the fan experience a little bit. What can we expect? Where should we go? Any inside knowledge on how to take in the ball game?
Yeah. So get here right when gates open because we have 2 players every game signing autographs for the first 20 minutes. So when you come in, immediately go past the big blue tent and to your left past the stairs, you're going to see 2 players signing autographs. So make sure you get that. And then our concessions, we have 2 main concession stands and then 2 main bars as well, both on the first base and third base side. If you bring kids and they're easily distracted, we do have mini golf out in left field as well. That's open year round. It's just $5. And then there's also the kids zone behind home plate, a kind of gated area near the home plate gate. That's, I think, also $5. So that is the two big kids areas. We've opened up better concessions, quite frankly, this year. I always go with the cheeseburger. I'm not a hot dog girl, so I do the cheeseburger at our ballpark. But I have heard our hot dogs have gotten better this year. If you're a hot dog person,
Yeah. So what's the capacity in the ballpark?
just over 5,000. So we're at about 2,000 pre-sale so far. So we got plenty of room for trading card night still.
There is, but with fireworks night and decent weather, walk-up should be pretty good.
I'm hoping. Yeah. So make sure you get your tickets. I know that we have a ticket link on there. And then for those
Yep.
who are at the actual the actual trading
Show,
night at
yep.
the convention center, the show, we will have a table there. Even if I'm not there or our community group isn't there or our mascot isn't there, we're gonna leave a piece of paper there with a QR code for people to have it easily accessed.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
we expect a good turnout with us as well. It'll be fun.
Well, Joe, we appreciate your partnership and your time this evening. We know you're wearing a lot of different hats. So thank you for that. We look forward to seeing you this weekend, in particular Saturday night, the trade night at GoMart Ballpark, home of the Charleston Dirty Birds. Jill Gearin, thank you so much for joining us this evening. We'll see you soon.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I'll see you guys this weekend.
Yep. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, Greenie, cool stuff. We're talking about the Mountain State Collectors Convention and our terrific partners. Speaking of which, we're going to have a very, very big show announcement coming up here in probably the next 10 minutes or so. But you're going to want to stay tuned for that. Very exciting stuff for us on the Greenie team. So make sure you stick around for that. In the meantime, we're going to keep it rolling with another one of those terrific partners we mentioned that is helping out launch the first ever Mountain State Collectors Convention, and that would be Jeremie Stout, the owner of Select Cards and Collectables, which is a well-known sports memorabilia shop in South Charleston, West Virginia. I believe Jeremy's been collecting cards for about 30 years or so, and he eventually turned that passion into a business. And he's got a shop with a strong reputation, with a wide range of vintage and modern trading cards. And he's really been a key figure in the local collecting community there in West Virginia. So we're very, very thrilled that Select Cards and Collectables is a part of this foray into the card show in West Virginia. And with that, we will welcome in Jeremie Stout.
How's it going, Jeremy? Greenie, how you guys doing this evening?
Good. It's a whole night of Jeremy's and
That's
Greenie
right.
here. So yeah, that's good.
Well,
Listen, thanks for A, joining us, but B, for all your help with getting people in Charleston, getting the word out for the show. It's been a lot of fun, and we do very much appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I'm glad to help.
Now, how long have you had a shop in Charleston? How long has Select Cards and Collectibles?
Well, we were in South Charleston, like Jeremy said, opened up March of 2017. But we actually just moved. We're right by the ballpark now. We just recently moved to a smaller location. We had a big place, but it got to the point where we were just doing more shows and stuff like that than having a store. So we downsized. But the location, I can see the ballpark out the front window of the store now. So we're right downtown in Charleston.
Well, that'll make it easy, John, to A, to the convention center, and B, to the trade night. So
yes,
yeah, not
for
bad.
sure.
Yeah, unless you say you live 2.5 hours away and you got to go home. But
No, I live
Yeah,
I live about 3 minutes from the Civic Center, so I can be at
perfect.
the ballpark in 5 minutes.
So let's ask you then, the Civic Center, what is the feeling like around town? Do people like the facility?
Yeah, they just put a bunch of money into it. It's been renovated. I don't know that they've done as much indoors as they did the outside, but it's a beautiful convention center. It definitely catches your eye when you come through Charleston on the interstate now. I know there's a lot of buzz around here. A lot of people are talking about the show, people who aren't even collectible people. So I think the word's getting out, and hopefully a lot of people come out. I know, a lot of people are down usually on shows that, you got to pay to park or you got to pay to get in or whatever. But I think the price is a good place. It's cheap. So I think people from around here who aren't necessarily card people or collector people are at that price point can come out and take a chance and just be nosy, walk around, see what they can find. And I think it'll be a good time.
That's one of the things that we like to do. We did it here in Cleveland. We can't control the parking there, but it's only $5. And
yeah, it's not bad.
And I think one of the lots, if you park on the 4th floor or higher, it's free. So we have all that information. But
yeah, you can park across the street at the mall. Like you said, you can park up top there, and it's not bad. I think you can park all day, like you said, on one of the lower levels for $5 if you don't want to walk that far, even though it's just across the street.
Right.
The back, right outside of the Civic Center, is a Benny Keatum Lodge, and they usually will sell parking there. I think they might usually charge $10 because that's their gig or whatever. It's not ran by the city. But again, you can park there and walk 20 steps and be inside the Civic Center. So if you want to be closer and maybe pay a little bit more to park, they should have that option as well.
Yeah, and then keeping the cost to get in. We want it to be reasonable. We want people to come. We want them to spend money in the room. So we try to do things that are affordable, even with the vendors. I mean, we're charging $100 for an 8-foot table for 3 days. For a big show around the country, you really can't beat that. So
no, the price is great. You can't beat it.
Yeah, and for a first-year show, we have close to 150 tables. I think the traffic that'll come into this show, I think they're going to be pleasantly surprised what they see, because there's going to be a lot of big cards in this room.
Yeah, I mean, I know myself and Rick Edmonds with D's Nuts Cards, and Colt is a friend of mine with Card Sharks. I saw Josh Keller on the list. He always has big stuff. Like there's a lot of people here that have nice things that are going to be setting up. So I think you'll be able to find a wide range of, cheap things to high dollar cards, vintage, ultra modern, autographed memorabilia. I think you'll see a good bit of stuff.
What do the collectors like in Charleston? Or is it more? We're closer to Marshall than we are West Virginia, but is it bigger West Virginia fans?
Yeah, WVU stuff always seems to sell a little more. Now, if you're in Huntington at the Huntington Mall Show, then you can usually sell Marshall stuff. Outside of there, it's usually WVU stuff that people look for. But, that doesn't mean that Marshall stuff won't sell, but it's not normally as good as WVU stuff.
Jeremy, in your experience, what's one of the most interesting things or surprising things that walked through the shop that really kind of took your breath away?
Man, we've had some real interesting things. My partner and I, Steve, who opened the shop with me, he'll be set up with me in the booth as well. Not too long ago, we had a shoeless Joe Jackson rookie come in. An interesting story. The guy had his uncle had lived in New York, retired to Florida, passed away 7 or 8 years ago. He had went and moved the stuff from Florida to here in West Virginia, sat in the basement for 5-6 years. He never touched it. Came across this box of stuff, and it was all tobacco cards and the old strip cards and things like that. He Googled us, found the number, just came by one day. He'd sent a couple pictures, didn't even have that card in the picture. And I thought, okay, well, this guy's going to show up at some point. A couple months go by, he doesn't show up. And then all of a sudden he just pops in out of the blue one day, and, we're flipping through these cards and there's a Joe Jackson rookie in there. Like, that doesn't happen just every day.
No.
Pretty amazing. No. And now Shoeless Joe is eligible for the Hall of Fame apparently today, along with
as of today.
Rose and
I saw that. Yeah. That's a whole nother show.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
save
we can
that one.
talk all night on that.
Yeah, I don't want to get down that. But listen, we look forward to this show in Charleston. When we decided this about a year ago, and we talked to the CVB, it really is a great city with terrific routes to other cities. I mean, Pittsburgh isn't far, Indianapolis, DC's not even far, Raleigh. So, I mean, there's a lot of avenues to get to Charleston, and I know a lot of people come for tourism there.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, a lot of main interstates intersect here in Charleston. Like I can be to Pittsburgh in 3 hours. I can be to Columbus in less than 3 hours. Lexington's 3 hours. Cincinnati's 3 hours. DC 5 hours. Charlotte 4 hours. And all of them are pretty much one interstate in. So there, it's definitely easy to get into. The city of Charleston has been doing a lot of great things. Like I think maybe this coming week is like the national cyclist something or another. Like they have Olympic trials here for cycling and stuff like that. They'll be in next week. They had some national jet ski competitions were here on the Canal River recently. I guess last summer. So yeah, the city's doing a lot. They're bringing a lot of things in. They're putting a lot of money into, like I said, the convention center and things like that, down on the levee. So they're doing a lot of stuff.
So we talk a lot about sports. What is like the Pokemon scene like down there? Are you getting into that in your shop?
I don't really know a lot about it. I carry it. I have a kid who a lot of times if I buy stuff, he'll price it for me, and I just put it out because it sells. But I've seen it show a lot. Yes, exactly. It sells. And I've seen a lot of Pokemon business at shows lately, like people who used to only do sports cards, some of the older guys now you see are starting to dabble into Pokemon, because if you can learn it, then you can definitely make money on it. It's hot right now.
Sure.
I mean,
well, from one Jeremy to another, we appreciate your support and your participation. Before we let you go, let everybody know where they can find you, certainly online and on the socials. But then when we get into Charleston, where can we find the shop in relation to the stadium?
The new place is at 426 Shrewsbury Street. It's right off of the Leon Sullivan exit, which to the left of the Leon Sullivan exit is the ballpark. I'm on the right of the Leon Sullivan exit. So you can find me there. And then obviously this weekend I'll be set up at the show though. So I saw Greenie or one of you posted the map a minute ago. So we're off to the left when you first come in, and we should have a pretty good selection of stuff.
Oh, the floor map. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be terrific. And then, yeah, Rick Edmonds will be right across from you. And we know Rick always.
Cards. Yeah. Rick and I have known each other for years. I saw Colt was there in the front with Card Sharks. Steve and I have been friends with Colt for years as well. So,
yeah, we have some other people from out of town. We have we have this the Gibby's family. They're big into Pokemon, and they have a huge block of I think 8 or 10 tables.
I saw that in the front. I wasn't familiar with who they were.
Yeah, they're Pokemon, and
That's your Pokemon.
They do a terrific business with that, and I think people are going to love seeing what they have. So that's why I asked. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of everything.
Will be people buying Pokemon for sure.
There will be something for everybody at this show.
There will be.
And our goal coming out of the end is people saying that was awesome, and we can't wait for next year's, and it'll grow, and that's the goal.
You got to start somewhere. So
that's right. So listen, we appreciate your help, and we look forward to seeing you this weekend.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on. I look forward to seeing you all.
Cool. Thanks, Jeremy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll see you soon. That was Jeremie Stout of Select Cards and Collectables, one of the primary sponsors there for the Mountain State Collectors Convention. And Greenie, again, you can't say it enough, whether it's a live event or this broadcast or buying and selling and producing cards or creating content, it really takes a village, and it takes tremendous partners. And we are very fortunate in that regard. And we have some really, really big news to share tonight on Greenie Sports Cards Live regarding a partnership and regarding the show and where we're headed. And we want to bring in, because it's hobby news time, we're going to bring in Joe Wysmierski from Phoenix Card Shop, who is our resident expert. But then we're going to also bring in a good friend of the show, and we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on. So we're going to say hello to Joe first.
What's happening?
Good evening, Joe. Joe, were you like Steve and I? Did you collect Sports Illustrateds growing up?
I don't know if I'm as old as you guys are, but I was more Illustrated Kids guy.
There you go. There you go. Well, for guys of our generation, Sports Illustrated was the biggest name in sports, and you couldn't wait week over week to get that issue, to read about the sporting news, to see what's going on in the world. And I remember, and my parents, God bless them for letting me do this. At one point, I cut up Sports Illustrated and lined the steps and stairwell of our basement with all kinds of action figures. They weren't fat heads. They must have been like small heads at that point. But Sports Illustrated was such a big part of our youth growing up. And Greenie, I don't think we could have ever envisioned this next step on where we're going. So we want to go ahead and bring in Mike Gioseffi, Gio, as he's known in the card world. Good evening there, Gio.
Can we talk about Joe's boyish looks for just a second? He's like a 7-year-old. Look at it. Look at this
as
face.
old as us, but yeah.
He looks like he's 11. Look at this.
That's why he's SI for kids. So now Mike, people certainly know you primarily for sports cards nonsense these days, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But we wanted to first share really big news, really big partnership that all 4 people on the screen right now are a part of and will be a part of moving forward. And that is our presenting sponsorship of Greenie Sports Cards Live is now Collectables on SI, which is the first part of this. And it is supported by Sports Cards Nonsense, of course, in your world. And let's talk a little bit, Gio, about what this means. We've been doing Greenie Sports Cards Lives for about a year and a half. Greenie, of course, has the live events and the show component. We've got a whole team of people, whether it's Joe as our hobby expert, and we've got people behind the cameras and production and graphics and cards. But talk about your world in Sports Cards Nonsense and how this came together with Collectables on SI.
Yeah, so I mean, I think most people at this point have seen the collecting on SI. The website has really taken off with written stuff, with written form content. We're getting a lot of clicks and views there. And our goal was really, hey, we just want to be the name in sports cards, and to do that, like to be that news outlet and really kind of be that household name. We want to team up with guys in the hobby. I mean, there's a lot of content creators, but we want to team up with guys who are in the hobby and just happen to create content, which is really, you, Steve, Joe, that's what you guys do. You guys do shows, involved with shops, obviously have the live show. And so to us, it was a perfect partnership of like, hey, these guys are great at things that we don't do yet. And I think we're good at some things you guys don't do yet. And so let's just marry the two and make this one, honestly, just one hobby media conglomerate is the plan.
It's really interesting that the way you put that. There are people that do content that know nothing about cards, and then there's people that we're card guys just happen to turn on a camera and start doing this, and there is a big difference in the two.
Yeah, I mean, you can teach anybody how to make content. You cannot teach people passionate about what they do. And that's just. And the sad thing is, it's become a space where there's some pretty big names out here who are pretty clueless. But they get a lot of clicks and they get a lot of views, and they're total dummies. And so our thinking was, hey, we're also dummies, but we know what we're talking about when it comes to cards. So it was like, hey, let's get together with people who are passionate about the hobby, and then it makes sense. People are also businessmen in the hobby. I think you have to have both, and that's really what you guys do. I mean, and Steve, you're doing stuff we have no knowledge, no chance of doing, like shows and all that. Your production team, the stuff you guys have. We're super excited to like really start launching some new stuff and content and go crazy with it.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing is I do the cards, Jeremy does the production. We don't intermingle, and it works.
Yeah, perfect. And then you got Joe sitting in the dark up there, just with the Sports Illustrated kids, living the dream.
I got the John Harkes poster. My mother, no nonsense lady, so I could not put that up on the walls because it would mess with the wallpaper, which tells you how old I might be. But Yeah, the John Harkes poster was big time in Sports Illustrated Kids.
Listen,
There you go.
Joe's a big part of this. I mean, he does. He knows what he's talking about with the cards, and we joke and we have these
Sure.
jokes running, but he needs to be on a show more, and that's going to be part of what we're doing here. Is he's going to have a little bit more of a role.
No, I've told him I'm excited to work with, like, even Joe. Like, I don't consider Joe a content guy. I just think Joe's a funny dude. Like, again, give me a guy with some personality who's actually funny and like knows the space, and we can just turn on Mike. That was our motto with nonsense. Like, Jesse doesn't know anything about the space at the time, but everybody knows about the space. Everybody can talk about the sale prices and the auction stuff, and that's cool. That's a cool part of it. Give me guys with personality. We'll make a show that's entertaining, and we may just happen to talk about some cardboard at the same time.
Right. And there's a lot of tentacles to this, Mike, that we'll continue to roll out over the coming weeks, and people have a better sense of this. But there's a couple areas, one being the collectibles on SI that will allow us and Greenie Sports Cards to disseminate content out into a much broader audience online and within that platform. There's the Sports Cards Nonsense platform on the social side with an incredibly robust following and connectivity and an engaged community that you've been able to build over there. And then there's the eBay component of this and the trading card auction component, which we're not going to take a deep dive today, but we're already doing that with Alex, and he's going to continue to evolve in that space. And ultimately, there will be other shows and other content that we're all going to collaborate on and bring this to life in the live environment. So I'm really excited about, of course, the live event piece, the online reach, the capabilities of social, and to really continue to grow this community.
Yeah, I think that was a perfect way to put it. Like, I when we talked a few months ago, we started hatching this idea. It was, we want to like have it almost be realistically like the bar stool of the hobby, where there's, in the sense that there is content, and then there's content about the content. There's different shows, different avenues. There's reaction to what Joe and Mike said, the stupid thing on this show, but Greenie and Jeremy had a good take. And, I just think if you create that type of environment, again, it becomes a storyline people want to actually follow and be a part of.
They will, and when they really see some of the things, it's great to talk about a few of the things, and we're not going to tell everybody the ideas that we have, but when they see it, eventually, it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, for sure. So, Gio, let's start with the baseline before we get into a little bit of news that on the hobby side that I know nothing about. That's Steve's world and your guys' world. Give us the foundation of Sports Cards Nonsense. What if people aren't familiar with it? What is it, and why is it such an engaged community?
Yeah, so it started a couple of years ago with a podcast. Me and Jesse started just goofing around. I just sold my breaking business and just, hey, let's start making content and podcasting, talking about cards, with the angle being I've been in the business for a long time and love the space. I'm a collector and a hobbyist, but businessman there. Jesse knows nothing about the space. So let's kind of, again, merge those two. So it's a show for the novice, for people in the hobby, and make it entertaining. And then we got picked up by Bill Simmons over at The Ringer. And so the podcast took off, huge distribution because of that name over there. And then we made this Facebook group that is just an awesome, horrific nightmare of a social media platform that also is kind of cool. It's got like 350,000 people now. It's 10x people know the Facebook group and have never heard of the podcast or me or Jesse. And it's just become this conglomerate. And so then we just kind of built out socials. And then just quite frankly, we kind of, even with that, like Nonsense will be much more involved with this whole partnership going forward, because me and Jesse are two people. We kind of brought this as far as we could go to a degree. And so that's why I was like, hey, let's really start growing this thing out now into a network. So that's kind of the next step for us over here is getting involved with collectibles on SI, getting involved with guys who know what they're doing on production side, like you fellas, and then just starting to launch new ideas and make this into more of an actual hobby news network.
I know she's not on camera, but I know Haley's down there, and she's excited about it too, because it's going to give her a lot more nonsense to do, which is great. There's Haley.
There we go.
Yeah.
Little peek behind the curtain there.
That's right.
From coast to coast. I mean, an example, perfect today. We're sitting at our breaking table in the shop. Gentleman sits down. He's on vacation. He says, oh, I go to a local shop in Indiana. You probably don't know. I said, well, where about in Indiana? He's like, down near Indianapolis. I said, the Indianapolis Card Exchange? He's like, or Indy Card Exchange? And he's like, yeah. And I go, yeah, I happen to know the shop 100%. And in fact, a friend of mine is going to be going on vacation, and he's going to be making a trip through Indianapolis and in Indy and going up through there. And I said, have you heard of Sports Cards Nonsense? He goes, dude, I'm on the Facebook group every day. I'm literally
God.
yeah, got a show with him tonight. What? I go, so I mean, it is. He's like, that's so great. Like you know those guys? Yeah, like it gives a more sense of reality to the people who are coming into a shop. It puts names and faces together, and it's a great art to get people to relate on a whole different level. We always talk about how Fanatics and Panini and Upper Deck and all the companies want to grow the hobby, and it starts with community, from breaking, from shops and whatnot, and now this content's just going to take it to that next level. So that's a huge piece of excitement that we have on the horizon, and there's really there's no limit to what we can do, which is the other exciting piece of it.
And Gio's a real person. You could see him here. It's not just
not just a troll in
not
the
just
Facebook
a mythical
group.
creature out there in the hobby world. So much more to come, but let's talk some hobby news while we're here. Joe, I know you had a couple things to talk about, and certainly with Mike here, let's grab his insight while we can.
Yeah, we have two baseball products that are releasing this week: Select Baseball and Flawless Baseball. Both these products are non-licensed, so they do come from Panini, but they are, again, we're tying a bow on 2024. So Ellie, all of the Jacksons, Churio, Merrill, Holiday, Paul Skeens, we all have an opportunity for their autographs in this product. But also, you're looking for the fine gem cards. You're also looking for rubies, sapphires, diamonds, and there is a great array of veteran players that'll be in the product that you can also have an opportunity to hit. Typically, you'll have some encased cards on top. You'll have a box with about 6 to 7, depending on if you have a redemption or not, in the middle there. But it is a great product. It is a high risk, high reward product. But if you're looking for Panini's, premier tip of the iceberg type product here, that is what Panini Flawless Baseball is. And we actually had a huge hit in our shop last week out of a non-licensed product. We talked about the release of National Treasures Baseball. In our shop there, we had, right, you see the Paul Skeens 101 patch auto with the inscription, "Go Bucks." So we took the picture, posted online. I did reach out to Dick's Sporting Goods to see if they wanted to add to another one of one to their collection. They have not reached out yet, but this just shows you that you can still get some great value in a product that is not licensed, but it is a rookie card. It gives that great patch there, and it's just something gorgeous. It just, again, you're getting into Panini, where you do have some guys out there in the hobby that are not interested in products that don't show that Pittsburgh P on the hat.
How many people were there when he opened that?
0. There was just him. And here's the thing I want to tell about this story too. This is what's fantastic is, so we got some loose boxes from 2 distributors, and we had 2 loose boxes, and then this one came in the day of the release from another distributor, and you hear it all the time. Nathan Burns always talks about it. That one loose box that's not a part of the case that shows up from the distributor, it's always just a banger, and that's how this came in. This was just sitting there. So whoever got the other 3 boxes out of that case, I apologize, but our customer was absolutely thrilled with this hit.
Can't imagine.
Gio, what value license card like this is?
Oh man! So the only thing I have to go on, we pulled the 1-of-1 Pirates patch out of Leaf Trinity, which is nowhere near as high end as NT, and it sold for like $2,500. So I don't know, 5 to 10 grand.
Yeah, it has to be.
At least, I mean, but then again, I'm biased. I love unlicensed Griffey Flawless patch autos if they're game used, which they are, and on card. Probably the biggest portion of my PC aside from Brady stuff. So I like it.
Well, that's the only way. One of my sons was able to get a Steph Curry card was thank you, Leaf, for not having licensed product, because we'd be sitting there waiting for a Steph Curry card to show up at a Goodwill sale. But to that point, you do have an opportunity. We talk about this all the time. is you have an opportunity to get into like a flawless product, which is, potentially on the same level of as a Diamond Icons or Transcendent, but in Panini's own mind. But you have the opportunity to get into a product like that and potentially hit something huge. I mean, this is a product hit, and that's who you're looking for in this product. He's the guy who's going to carry the most weight, which is kind of unheard of for a pitcher.
It's also weird to me. Here's the only thing. I like that it's 2024 rookie stuff. I don't know the logistics or the legality of it, but this year there's also Judge, Witt, Gunnar Henderson. I don't know how they got so many active guys because they don't have a PA deal. I like NT and Flawless anyways. And then when I saw Judge, because he was an NT, he's in Flawless, Witt the same, Gunnar. There's like 3 or 4 huge names, and somehow they got autos as well. So I'm with you, dude. And Diamond Icons is what, 10K a case, 8K a case? This is a quarter of that. I don't know. For the value, I like it. I've always been a fan.
And the product of Breaker Stream, right? Easy ship, easy sort, Breaker Stream.
Don't even ship hits. Just make it real simple. No shipping. You get to see your card on screen only. Just save myself some time. There you go. There you go.
That's a digital card. I love it. It's the new digital card.
Digital theft. There you have it.
So keeping it moving. We do have select baseball that does. Baseball is going to have prospect hits in it, some rookies. But you're looking for a lot of the different parallels, the tiger stripes, all the different animal prints. It's select baseball. There's not. It's a nice product. It kind of mirrors Prism, but there you have a zebra print right there, Paul Skeens. They're gorgeous cards. They are a chrome-based card, but again, you're dealing with the non-licensed. So you do have also the field level views. Those different parallels that you can also chase. There's a tricolor. You do have the Hall of Famers also.
Oh, that is cool. Willie Mays, I guess. Yeah.
But again, it gives you an opportunity to get into a break. You could get some of the teams that were bigger at a great price point because this product's not going to come out and be a heavy hitter like what Bowman just came out at this past week.
That's right.
Now, moving on into another sport, we do have Topps NFL Signature Series. That does come out this Friday. I believe, Gio, that's got 5 autos a box.
5 a box, yep.
And that could be insane. This is going to be a great product. It looks gorgeous. The mock-ups originally, the vertical cards that you're going to see right here, it's just a throwback look, and they look awesome.
Yeah, I kind of go both ways on this one now. So, like, unlicensed football, unlicensed basketball, I won't touch. I think it's been horrendous. Unlicensed football, to me, they've done a pretty good job with. And so, yeah, we went pretty heavy on this one as breakers. We bought a bunch. 5 autos a box. Same thing, too, with it's a crazy rookie class. All the quarterbacks are in it. Everybody signed. And then the vets are back. You got Brady, Peyton, Elway, Terry Bradshaw. So, at 5 a box. And it's only a 6-box case, I believe, so it's not a crazy PYT. Yeah, we went pretty heavy on this one.
Yeah, and they look gorgeous. I mean, you do see the sticker autos here, but you do have the opportunity to get kind of past and present guys. But like usual, in a product that's supporting 2024, you're looking for those quarterbacks. Your Drake May, Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams. We're also looking for Brock Bowers.
Yeah, I was going to say, Joe, I will say that too, not to just pump the product too much, but there's never, at least not in recent history, has a non-quarterback sold like that. Like Bowers, Malik Neighbors, Xavier Worthy, Cooper DeJean, even like there's some non-QB guys that actually sell through the roof, which is kind of like Keon Coleman, Bucky Irving sell pretty well. It's pretty rare, but we're finally starting to see that, which is kind of nice.
I literally put my foot in my mouth. A customer came in, they wanted to sell some cards. They brought a Kaleidoscope Brock Bowers, and I was like, what are we talking about? Like maybe 15, 20 bucks?
And then they just walked out of the shop.
And he goes, look it up. And I was like, what? 110 bucks.
Yeah.
And I was like, for a tight end? For the betas? Like, come on, dude.
Yep.
We're not talking about a Lions player here, not Sam Laporta. We're not talking about Rio Clay.
So Joey Harrington, that's for sure. Sorry.
That's right.
One of the great. But yeah, I mean, Brock Bowers selling through the roof in this product and having the opportunity. I mean, Malik Neighbors in these products too. And then this is also, actually, I apologize. Neighbors is not an autograph in this, but you know who is, Mike?
Wait a minute. Yes, he is.
Is Neighbors in here?
How dare you? Don't disparage the Giants with your Detroit Lions talk.
Was a Panini guy. I apologize, but I was too excited because I knew that you were a little upset with the Topps Finest release, where you thought you were going to have some Marv Harrison.
Dude.
Yeah.
So Marv Harrison, Maserati Marv, will be in this product.
And he actually will be, not just on the checklist like the first 2 releases of the year.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah. So that's a big thing, especially out here in the desert. You know, we people are starving for Marv. I actually got a call at the show. And a gentleman asked, he said, would you mind consigning a Black Pandora downtown PSA 10? I said, no, wouldn't mind consigning it at all. Bring it on down. We've got some people interested in that. So that's just another, again, we're not pumping the product, but it's another added piece to having an opportunity to get a guy that hasn't signed in anything yet.
Oh, he had that whole issue before, and I guess now, but who knows? But as Buckeyes, we want to see his autographs too.
Absolutely. I mean, this one, hopefully, Dad wasn't near the pen. We hope that. I hope it was just Marv Jr. And I'm sure it was, right, under lock and key. But that's the excitement, is being able to have the opportunity to get a player that they've seen in products, but they haven't seen the auto yet. So that's something that's really interesting to get. But then again, guys, we're talking about Jane Daniels autos. Like, really, that's if we're putting our pulse on the heartbeat of football products right now, coming in and out of the card shop, it's people are looking for quarterback autos, and this is your gateway to get that. And once Jeremy go off,
Joe, if Marvin Harrison Sr. signs for Marvin Harrison Jr., is it still technically a Marvin Harrison autograph?
No, it's technically not. No.
All right.
Yeah, good.
There you go.
So listen, yeah, very cool. Good stuff, Joe. A lot of products came out. V Friends is hot. Lucky Cat or whatever it is all over the place.
Is that not the craziest thing you've seen? Like, Greenie, you've been in the hobby a long time. Is that not the craziest thing you've ever seen?
Yeah, the answer is yes. But it's somebody wild. That has the pull that Gary V does to be able to create a card set out of a stick figure drawing is just beyond me. And people are going, I'm not mad at it. I'm not. It's
just crazy.
It is. Yeah.
Some would say it's nonsense.
That is absolutely. I mean, Jesse had 200 people in his live last week on Fanatics, and Gary V joined him for a few minutes, and the room flooded. Like, I've never seen more nerds come out during the daytime in my life. It's weird. It's nice to be able to call people nerds, though. Like, we're baseball card nerds.
I tried to get on Topps to buy some. I tried. I couldn't get any. Yeah.
Snapped out. Yeah. $500 a hobby box on eBay right now. It's wild.
Yeah, I see. I'm not into that. I wanted the $24.99 blaster, but
those are $120 right now.
To this point, to be able to announce the Collectibles on SI partnership, supported in a tremendous way by Sports Cards Nonsense. And there's lots and lots more news to come out of this partnership. We've only scratched the surface, but we wanted to get you guys on tonight to tell the world this is happening, and we'll get to work on what it really means.
Awesome. Thanks for the time, guys. Super
cool.
Excited.
Gio, Joe, we appreciate it, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
See ya.
See you guys.
All right, Greenie.
And my down 3-1 shirt is happening right now. They're up.
Yep. Yep. Well, Cavs season may be over tonight, or we get to do it again. But either way, we're going to see many of you, hopefully, in West Virginia this weekend for the Mountain State Collectors Convention. And Greenie, there's a lot of people to thank tonight. Jill Gearin from Charleston Dirty Birds, Jeremie Stout from Select Cards and Collectibles, Joe Wysmierski from Phoenix Card Shop, who joins us every week, and of course, Mike Gioseffi, who helped pull this partnership together with Collectibles on SI, who is now the presenting sponsor of Greenie Sports Cards Live. And Sports Cards Nonsense is going to be such a huge part of the social engagement moving forward. And then there's the eBay component. So if you're not familiar with that, make sure you get over at 9 o'clock tonight to eBay Live to see Alex and be part of that auction. He goes live at 9 p.m. every Tuesday and Thursday. And there's just going to be so much more to come as part of the Greenie Sports Cards broadcast division. There will be other shows. There will be more content. And we'll be able to put this stuff out over Collectables on SI as a part of the Sports Illustrated brand and engage with the sports nonsense community. So really cool stuff, Greenie. I didn't envision us getting to here, but here we are. And may the cards continue to be forever in your favor.
Year and a half ago, we started our own nonsense, and this is where it brought us. So listen, we'll take it and ride it as far as we can, and it's going to be fun. So again, we appreciate it, and have a good night, everybody.
Thank you, Haley.